And the theme, the title of the ninth shloka is Urdhva Margaha. Urdhva means upwards, Margaha is a path, the upward path of goddess Shakti. This is what is described in the ninth shloka. And there is this beautiful animation which describes the movement. This is what the shloka in essence conveys, how the rise of energy as Shakti happens across the 7 energy centers or chakras within the human body. So how this, will come back to this animation. You just notice how it rises, how Kundalini, the dormant energy at Mooladhara, rises up through the 7 chakras and reaches Sahasrara, which is at the very crown, at the top of the head of the skull. The ninth shloka has these benefits. This is the yantra. Every single shloka of Saundarya Lahari is a mantra in itself for sadhana. The siddhi that corresponds to this is mastery over the 5 elements, Panchabhutanam Jayah. The sadhana that is pertaining to this particular siddhi, to get this siddhi, is prescribed. There are more than 30 different commentaries on Saundarya Lahari. One of the commentators called Lakshmidhara describes all these sadhana in elaborate detail. So using this yantra and facing east, chanting the 9th shloka 1000 times for a period of 40 days, in a ritualistic way. This is, of course, Tantra is very ritualistic. By offering a Naivedya, there are many other recommendations on how to best do this sadhana, what kind of materials to use to draw this yantra, where to draw it on, and if once the sadhana is done, what then to do with the materials used and the yantra itself. All of that is described, but for our understanding, our approach will not go that deep into the intricacies of Tantra sadhana, but we can just visualize this yantra in our minds. Or the best way of doing it is just visualize the Shri Yantra. We'll look at the physical form of Shri Yantra in the 11th shloka. That is best. Instead of doing this individual, specific yantras, just visualizing the Shri Yantra. And of course, there are these very specific benefits associated with each shloka. We'll look at the shloka itself first. I'll chant this once, give a pause. You can chant it after me. I'll break it into individual words and do it without any tune. This is how it goes. Mahim Mooladhare. You repeat after me. Mahim Mooladhare. Kamapi Manipure. Kamapi Manipure. Hutavaham Sthitam Swadhishthane. Hutavaham Sthitam Swadhishthane. Hridi Marutam Akasham Upari. Hridi Marutam Akasham Upari becomes Hridi Marutam Akasham Upari. Manopi Bhru Madhye. Make sure that you say it as Bhru and Madhye, not Bhru Madhye. It's those are Mahaprana sounds, so they need to come from the chest. Bhru Madhye. Sakala Mapi Bhitva. It's Bhitva. Kulapatham. It is not Kulapadham. It is Kulapatham. Tha. Sakala Mapi Bhitva. Kulapatham. Sahasrare Padme Saha Rahasi Patya Viharase. Sahasrare Padme Saha Rahasi Patya Viharase. We'll look at the meanings of this shloka now. But before that, I'll chant it line by line. See if you can just repeat after me the entire line. Mahim Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham. Right? Mahim Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham. Sthitam Swadhishthane Hridi Maruta Makasha Mupari. You can do it after me. Manopi Bhru Madhye Sakala Mapi Bhitva Kulapatham. Sahasrare padme sah rahasi patya viharase. So this is how we chant the shloka without any tune. Now the beauty and the genius of Adi Shankaracharya and the beauty of this composition is such that a composition on goddess Parvati, Shakti, who is the daughter of Parvata or a mountain, is in a poetic meter called Shikharini, which means the daughter of Shikhara or a peak or a mountain. So this chandas, which is used to compile this shloka, is called as Shikharini chandas. The tune of this goes as follows. The rhythm na 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 mahim mooladhare kamapi manipure hutavaham. The tune, there are many tunes, very popular renditions compiled as music, but what we go with is something like this. Mahim mooladhare kamapi manipure hutavaham sthitam swadhishthane hrudi marutamakaashamupari manopi bhrumadhye sakalamapi bhitva kulapatham sahasrare padme saharahasi patya viharase. So this is the chant in tune. If it's not necessary that you have to do it in this melody, you can just chant it as Mahim Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham Sthitam Swadhishthane and chant it. You might have a question. You said in Prayoga you chant it for 1,000 times. I had this question multiple times. How do we chant this? Each chant takes almost 1 whole minute or 2 minutes. How do we do 2,000 minutes of chant every single day? No, you don't have to do it out aloud. Once you learn this, you internalize it. You can move your lips and quickly move your lips and do it. And after a certain time, you can just mentally just visualize chanting this, and it is as impactful. It is in fact more impactful because it is that chant becomes one with your thought. So it takes just a fraction of a second, 1 second or less every time you do one avartana of the entire shloka. It becomes the objective is to just internalize the entire shloka as a mantra within. But there is also a meaning that goes along with this shloka, of course. So how that meaning is to be understood is through this beautiful layer-wise arrangement of the words in this shloka. Don't worry, I'll zoom this arrangement later. You can see it in a much clearer way. But just as a broad overview, we look at the key ideas that are being conveyed in the shloka. This is one key idea. This is one key idea. There are two things that Adi Shankaracharya is describing. Now, every other word in the shloka that supports that key idea, that describes that key idea further, is nested below into the key idea as a group. So, bhitva, by piercing through. By piercing through what? By piercing through how, when, who, everything else that is associated with bhitva is here. All the words of the shloka. Bhitva, what? After piercing, then viharase. There's something else. So by doing these are the two main key ideas. And where do you unite? How do you unite? With whom do you unite? All that are there as words below. So this is, to boast a little, very unique approach that we have at the Sanskrit channel. We had done the entire this approach started as a need, as an absolute necessary, because Shiva Tandava Stotram was a nightmare to understand. But since then, this layer-wise arrangement of words in a shloka has helped us enormously to understand many other shlokas. We'll use that to understand Saundarya Lahari shloka number 9 today, 9, 10 and 11. So the two key ideas that are being conveyed is bhitva and viharase. By piercing through something, you then unite in bliss. Viharase is just roam around or just, you are joyful. But we'll come to this later. First, bhitva, by piercing through. This bhitva comes from bhedana, which means to shatter, exactly. Bhed karna, I say. So by piercing through what? Mahim Mooladhare. Mahi is earth. Mahim Mooladhare is at the Mooladhara chakra, which is at the base of the spine. This is also called as the root chakra in English, which is at the perineum where the genital organs meet the anal outlet. So at Mooladhara, which is the abode of the earth element within the body, by piercing through that first, then rising upward, Hutavaham Sthitam Swadhishthane, by piercing through fire at the Swadhisthana chakra, which is at the center of procreation, the genital center. It is called as sexual chakra, I think, or the genital chakra, something of that sort in English, but it is called Swadhisthana. There is a little bit of a caveat here. Usually Swadhisthana chakra is said to be associated with the water element. But in this particular shloka, fire is associated with Swadhisthana, and the one above that, Manipuraka, is said to be of the water element. Usually Manipuraka is associated with the fire element. Now this is the caveat. When somebody wants to build up that energy and be dynamic, move towards something, then fire gets associated with the Swadhisthana chakra. But if one wants to pacify, be settled into a state of meditation, then water gets associated with the Swadhisthana chakra and fire with Manipuraka, the digestive fire. Of course, fire is present throughout the body as Agni. So this is Kama Agni, that is Jatara Agni. There are different kinds of Agni. So here, Hutavaha. Hutavaha is, Huta is that which is offered into a yajna. Vahana means to carry that. So another name for fire is Hutabhuk, the one who consumes offerings into a yajna, or the one who carries the offerings of a yajna. So Hutavaham, the fire, Sthitam, which is situated Swadhisthani, in the Swadhisthana chakra. Kam means the water element at Manipuraka, by piercing through these chakras. Hridi, Hridaya is the heart. Hridi, Marutam. Marutam means the wind. By piercing through the wind element at the Anahata chakra. Akasham is the element of space or ether, or that it is one of the substances. Space is seen as one of the elements of creation. So that Akasham, which corresponds to the Vishuddhi chakra. There is enormous correlation between all of these 5 chakras and the different tattvas. There is Prithvi, there is the 5 senses. 5 senses and the 5 elements are in complete correspondence with each other. And that is how all of these are situated across the body. And all of this has already been covered on the Sanskrit channel. You can look for chakra related videos. Vishuddhi, which is at the throat center, corresponds to Akasham, or the element of space. And then above that, at Agnya chakra, Bhru Madhye. Bhru is, or the eyebrows, in the middle of the eyebrows at Agnya chakra, Manah, the tattva, Manas tattva. The 5 elemental tattvas are done, and the one beyond that, which is still physical, is Manas. By piercing through Manas too at Agnya. Sakalam api kulapatham. The Sakalam is all of it. Kulapatha is the path of the spine, along the spine. So to the right there is Pingala, and to the left there is Ida. This is what is manifest as the left nostril, right nostril, the left strand of breath, right strand of breath, as the left, the left part of the brain, left brain, right brain, the entire symmetry, left-right symmetry of the body is seen as Ida and Pingala. And that which is, when there is balance between Ida and Pingala, the one that gets activated in the middle, the balanced energy pathway, is called as Sushumna. By traveling through this entire pathway of Sushumna and piercing through each and every energy center there, Sakalam api kulapatham bhitva. By piercing through what? Mahim Mooladhare Kamapi Manipure Hutavaham Sitam Swadhisthane Hridi Marutam Akashamupari Manaha api Bhru Madhye Sakalam api Kulapatham Bhitva. By piercing through all of this, what else is left? The topmost chakra, which is Sahasrara. you are situated, you unite, viharase, you wander around in bliss, you unite in bliss, you just exist, you dwell there. Viharati has all these meanings, comes from the hru dhatu, but vihar karte hain, so viharase, you unite in bliss. Where do you unite in bliss? In the lotus padma of sahasrare padme. How do you do that? In secret. This is, it's not as explosive, it's not as tangible as the other ones. All the other energizations that happen across the Kulapatham, across these all the 6 chakras, are manifest, are evident. But the one that happens at Sahasrara happens in secrecy. So Rahasi, in secret, along with your husband Shiva. Pati means husband, Saha is along with. So at the Sahasrara chakra, you unite in bliss with your husband. So this entire thing is called as the Urdhva Margaha, or the upward movement of energy. This 9th shloka describes the upward movement of energy of Shakti, which is energy along Sushumna, the central pathway along the spine within the human body, which is also worshipped externally as the mother goddess Shakti outside. So this is the Urdhva Margaha. And once that union happens, there are many sketches. There is, for example, this one beautiful sketch that I was able to find online. Couldn't find artist references, so excuse me, whoever did this. So this depicts beautifully how the right channel and the left channel is. So the right side is said to be the sun, the left is the moon. This is the entire symbolism of Hatha Yoga as well. Ha meaning the sun and Tha meaning the moon, which is one of the interpretations of it. So when that union happens between the left and the right, which is also seen in Namaskar Mudra, that is when one is said to attain to the highest state of a human being, where there is no longer any dualities of heat and cold, or misery or sadness, or joy, or of humility, of apamana, or of gaurava. There is no longer any dualities. One is not bound by the physical dualities of existence, because the union has happened within at Sahasrara. This is the symbolism, and this is mentioned in the 9th shloka. So thus we have covered the meaning, the prayoga, the tantra aspects of it, the Beeja mantra, the lay-wise meaning, so the entire interpretation of the shloka, and how to chant it.